Welcome, seekers of wisdom, to glorious past. Today, we continue our journey into the legendary Tamil epic, diving into a moment of great turmoil and revelation. As fate unfolds, Manimekalai stands at the heart of a storm that tests the resolve of queens and kings alike. Join us as we explore this tale of sorrow, wisdom, and redemption. The royal palace, once resplendent in its grandeur, now lay heavy under the weight of grief. The halls that once echoed with laughter and festivity were now silent, mourning the untimely death of the prince. The queen, a mother torn between love and anger, could not reconcile her loss. Her son, the heir to the throne, had perished, and the sorrow in her heart turned into an unquenchable fire of vengeance. Within the palace walls resided an elderly woman named Vasanthavai, known for her wisdom and ability to console the distressed. It was her duty to bring solace to the members of the royal family in times of despair. When the king, burdened by his own sorrow, summoned her to comfort the grieving queen, she stepped forward with the grace of one who had witnessed the ebb and flow of life's fortunes. Vasanthavai entered the queen's chamber, where the air was thick with sorrow. The queen sat in her regal attire, her face pale and eyes filled with unshed tears. Unlike the many who would prostrate themselves in shared grief, Vasanthavai did not kneel nor wail. Instead, she stood with quiet dignity, saluted the queen, and invoked the blessings of the divine upon her. Then, with a voice that carried the wisdom of generations, she spoke. "Great queen, the kings of this land have always held honor above all else. To live a long life in comfort and die of old age within the palace walls has never been the path of our warriors. It has been the pride of this house that its sons fall not in leisure, but in battle, their swords bathed in glory. But alas, your son did not meet his fate defending his motherland nor conquering enemy lands. The loss is painful, yet it is not one to be mourned in endless grief. Rather, it is the duty of the king to remain just, for justice is the foundation upon which a kingdom stands. In the face of sorrow, one must not forget righteousness." The queen listened, her heart torn between acceptance and anguish. As Vasanthavai took her leave, her words lingered in the chamber like the faint fragrance of withering jasmine. Though outwardly composed, the queen's mind remained restless. The wound of her son's demise had not yet healed, and a storm brewed within her soul, a storm that sought to find fault, to hold someone accountable. And so, her thoughts turned to Manimekalai. The young maiden, radiant in beauty and bound to a path of renunciation, had become the object of the prince's ill-fated desire. Enchanted by her grace, he had pursued her with a fervor that had led him to ruin. The queen, though wise, could not absolve Manimekalai of blame. The more she thought of it, the more she yearned to rid herself of the pain through vengeance. One evening, as the setting sun cast long shadows across the marble floor, she approached the king. Her voice, steady but edged with sorrow, carried words that were both measured and piercing. "The prince," she began, "acted foolishly. He gave his heart to one who could never be his. A nun, devoted to the path of wisdom, belonging not to any man. Perhaps it was fate that he should meet such an end. Yet, my king, tell me, does it befit a ruler to keep imprisoned a maiden who has, even in her youth, chosen the life of a renunciant? She sought no throne, no wealth, no love. Wisdom has been her path. Must we hold her within these walls when her spirit is bound to none?" The king listened in silence, his thoughts deep in contemplation. He was a man of justice, one who ruled not with passion but with wisdom. He understood his queen's pain, yet he also recognized the truth in her words. Kings were not only fathers to their children but also to their people. And in that duty, they must choose whom to shelter and whom to let go. "If you believe so," he said finally, his voice as steady as the great mountains, "then let her be free. A ruler must look upon the worthy as his own children and deny none who walk the path of righteousness. If Manimekalai's heart is bound to wisdom, then she is not to be caged." And so, with the king's decree, The doors of the prison were unbarred. The guards, who had once kept watch over her, now stepped aside. Manimekalai, serene as ever, stepped forth into the world once more, untouched by the trials that had sought to shackle her. The air was crisp with the scent of liberation, and though she had endured much, her spirit remained unbroken. Yet, the world into which she was released remained as uncertain as the tides of the great ocean. The queen's heart had found some peace, but fate's hand was not yet done weaving its intricate patterns. Manimekalai's journey was far from over. The path of enlightenment is never without obstacles, and the forces that sought to challenge her had not yet vanished into the night. What awaits her now? Will she find refuge in her chosen path, or will the trials of the world seek to test her once more? Join us in the next chapter as we uncover the unfolding destiny of Manimekalai. If you have been moved by this tale of wisdom and justice, do not forget to immerse yourself further in the epics of our past. Like, share, and subscribe to Glorious Past, where the echoes of history find new life. Until we meet again, let the wisdom of the ancients guide you.